What's up, guys? Hey, how are we doing? So Hayden Deegan issues a warning to Levi Kitchen. He wants a piece. I'm going to expand on that. And I'm going to tell you why this season is going to be the most difficult season in Jett Lawrence's career. Yeah, in his career, this one is going to be the biggest and hardest championship that he'll have to win. And I have the information about the gambling company that is partnering with SMX and the deals. This number's big. I don't have the exact number, but I'll get to that. The way they're doing it, man, these guys are so dirty, rotten scoundrels. And I have to tell you guys, Nano Extreme, if you have an ache and a pain, any arthritis in your knee, or do your feet hurt after a long day of walking? If you put this on I put it on the bottoms of my feet when I go to like long walks or a long day at the track, and it helps so much. Seriously, I've tried a lot of pain creams. This is the only one that really gives me benefits. So hit up Nano Extreme, use code Cooksey for free shipping, and give this stuff a whirl. I promise you will thank me later. Head over to Complete Racing Solutions. So you've got the desire, you want to get in shape, but you don't know how. Coach Rob has programs that start at $15. Got a question? Type it in. He's got a nanobot with his pre-programmed answers from him specifically. And trust me, if that doesn't answer your question, Coach is always going to be available. He'll never leave anyone hanging. But if you're in a jam and you need a quick answer, this will definitely help you out. So head over to Complete Racing Solutions for $15 a month. You can be part of Coach Rob's team.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So I've been telling everybody for a while that the Supercross and Motocross series has partnered with a gambling company, and it's coming to fruition. It's DraftKings. DraftKings has signed on. It is a multi-million-dollar deal. I don't have the exact number, but from my comparisons with other sports, I'm going to say they're probably getting about $20 million a year between the Supercross, Outdoors, and SMX. I don't know how they're going to split all that up, but I believe it's about $20 million per year from DraftKings infused into the sport. But where this thing gets sticky is that it's an exclusive deal. So they're not going to allow like a team to go get some other gambling company to sponsor them, because that's a conflict of interest. So people say, well, why do the teams deserve a piece of a sponsor that the promoter went out and got, secured, and is negotiating and doing pretty much everything? Because they've got partners. They're betting on the riders. The riders are the product. Now, this isn't these guys aren't getting paid for results. This is an advertising deal with both series so that we can go bet on them. Riders and teams, I'm sure, will not be allowed to bet on themselves. But the whole way this series is put together is, okay, we give you a platform. You guys go race and get your own sponsors, and that's how you'll make money. We give you the platform, is what the promoters say. That's the famous line. We give them the platform. They're able to go make money from the brands, the manufacturers, the gear companies, the gambling companies, unless it competes with their money. Then you have a problem. So now you're telling these riders they can't get their own gambling sponsorship. By that, you owe them a piece of the one that you're taking. If you're going to do an exclusive deal, you have to include the partners. If you're going to tell these guys they can't get their own gambling sponsorships, that's the only way to do it. And I don't know why the teams and riders are not demanding a piece of this. If they let this to continue happening, it's going to keep happening. They will never give away money unless these teams that are going broke, like KTM, demand this money to subsidize their racing efforts. They're the ones paying the riders. They're the ones footing the bill, and the promoters are just collecting. Here's where this deal gets really weird. So apparently they negotiated in the deal that Feld and MX Sports can approve the affiliates they choose to promote DraftKings or their affiliates. So I had BetOnline last year. Now, BetOnline is also part of the DraftKings family. It's kind of like Expedia or Travelocity. You get like 75 different travel sites. They're really only just one company. And that's what all these gambling companies, you see a whole bunch of gambling, but there's only one company controlling them. So I really believe they put this in there just to cut me out. What it's going to do is indirectly show you which guys, and they want more control. So now they're going to go to these media companies and say, hey, we'll pull your affiliate deal if you don't tell our narrative. I promise you, they have to go along, and this is more of a control. It's disgusting, but we can spot whoever's under their thumb. Whoever has these affiliate deals, that's who's going to be under their thumb. I'm still going to do my gambling shows on Thursdays because I enjoy them. They're fun. I like talking about the odds. I like breaking it down. It's some pretty good information, and I like to place a few dollars here and there. And there are gambling companies that are not affiliated with DraftKings. And if any of you guys are out there and you want to sponsor that show, it is now open. And I appreciate those of you who did support the Bet Online last year. I know we had some big gamblers that moved their money from places like MGM over to Bet Online just because of that deal, and they're putting on Supercross. And I thank you for that. And if you like betting on where you're at and you're comfortable with it, stay with it. Don't change because of me. I just want to tell you guys I really appreciate it. That meant a lot. And yeah, you guys know who you are. So Levi Kitchen, apparently him or his manager, somebody called Star to find out what coast Hayden Deegan planned on riding, because Levi Kitchen wants him head to head. I love this. This is awesome. Now, I don't know if this is mind games or he really wants to battle him, but I think he does. You see Levi Kitchen's looking like Bruce Willis in Die Hard and all this training. He did a boot camp with Chase Sexton and Peter Park. We all talk about performance-enhancing drugs in the sports. I don't really care. I think all the guys should use them and should be allowed to use them. The testing is laughable. I think they're rampant in the sport, and I don't really care. They have been associated a lot with that trainer, but I don't care. Whatever it takes to make Levi Kitchen a badass, he looks like a savage coming into this year. And man, I love his enthusiasm. I love that he wants a piece of Deegan. And let's not forget, Hayden Deegan and Levi Kitchen, they have had very similar Supercross results. In 2024, each of them only won 3 rounds. I know Hayden come in with that injury. Levi finished with a big injury. Levi was set up to win the championship until his teammate made a horrible decision to go out there with that arm that he couldn't even hang on to and cleaned him out. By the way, where's the outrage? I hear all you guys freaking out about Vince Freezy because he might have hurt Dean Wilson, which I still haven't seen video. It sucks that it's Dean Wilson, one of the nicest and best guys in this sport. But until I see video, I can't just crucify him. You guys are already crucifying him, calling for him to be banned, and you guys haven't even seen what happened. But I've seen McAdoo put multiple guys in the hospital. Remember what he did to Chris Blows? Remember when he stepped on Pierce Brown in between the whoops to get to his bike? Pierce Brown's laying there, and Cameron stepped on his body to get past. Now, I like Cameron, but I call what I see, and I used to be okay with Cameron. He hates me now because I called out all this stuff, but he's hurt so many people. How come there's outrage towards Vince, but no outrage towards Cameron? I don't think there should be outrage towards either of them, but Cameron makes some dumb decisions. So Deegan and Kitchen have kept it somewhat friendly. Trust me, this is very real. And I like this stuff. A lot of people call it WWE or glorification of it. I call it telling the story. These are the things these guys say behind closed doors. These are the things that guys say in their trailer. I'm okay with it coming public. We don't need to present some fake image that they're all this one cookie cutter type of business person that gets up there and just thanks their sponsors. I'm okay if Levi Kitchen says, you know what, I want a piece of Deegan. And Deegan says, bring it, because that's what they really feel. And with that, I love it. Do not fake, if you come up with fake narratives and you create stuff that's not there, that's ridiculous. That's WWE. This stuff's there. And if it's authentic, run with it. Check out Epic Garage Designs. Travis Ogburn is a motocross enthusiast who has some of the coolest designs for your garage. He's got slat wall, cabinets, flooring, and if you need blinds, he does blinds here in the Las Vegas area. So hit him up there, epicgaragedesigns.com. Check out Ride Strapped. This is a really cool company. They support local racing on the grassroots level. Chris is very passionate about getting kids onto motorcycles. So check out Ride Strapped. Get your goggles, glasses, shirts. And I believe we're going to start having all the Cooksey merch over there. When I was out with Chris last week, I was like, listen, can you just do Cooksey merch on your site? Because I should do some merch and a better merch site, but I just haven't. He's already got it there. I'd rather just have him do it. So hopefully that's coming soon. Cooksey merch over on Ride Strapped. If you're shipping anything, use Precision Transport. Shipping companies are not fun to deal with. They're rude. They won't provide you tracking numbers. Not Precision Transport. This is a family-owned company that does it the right way. So hit up pretransport.com and use them for your shipping needs. So Jett Lawrence, boy, he is really under pressure this year. And this is a pressure like we've never seen before. We've seen guys where they were on a win streak and people started to boo or not like them, like Carmichael. Remember when he came down with the crown at the US Open? Could you imagine if that happened in this day and age, the way that crowd booed him, and it would go instantly out to Instagram and it would live forever? I tried to find pictures of Ricky Carmichael coming down in that crown at the US Open. I couldn't find them. I don't know if they've been wiped from the web or the media outlets went, oh, sorry, Ricky, we'll cover them up. But they're not out there. And if anyone has them, please send them to me. I would be interested to have those. But Ricky dealt with it that season. He came in, there was a lot of pressure on him, and he handled it pretty well, and he ended up winning the title. but he felt it early. He crashed big time. If you remember, I think it was one of the Anaheims where he endos and like LaRocco hits him, and it was a gnarly crash, and he had to come from a hole. He overcame that pressure and gave Honda their championship that they hired him for. But with Jett, this is something different. This is a new era of pressure. And Jett's young, man. This guy just barely turned 21. And I can't imagine being that young and having that many eyeballs on me, having every single thing. Now that he is the fastest guy on the planet, not only is he, have to deal with racing and everything else, but like if he orders something weird in his coffee, people are talking about it. There's rumors about his girlfriend and whether she's pregnant or not. I don't know and I don't care. But that's the microscope that he's under right now. And that is a lot of pressure. And he's the favorite. It is so much harder going into an event when you are expected to win it. And anything less than a victory, and a dominant victory at that, would be considered a subpar for Jett. Like there's no room. Lots of champions, like the Dallas Cowboys talked about it. When they won so many times, it got so much pressure because anything less than a Super Bowl championship in the season was a failure. That's difficult. That's where Jett's at right now. So if he can get it done this year and back up that championship, this will be his best season ever, in my opinion. Add all that pressure, you have more champions in this field that are hungry. You think they like letting Jett just ride around them like they're B riders? I mean, you've got Eli Tomac, one of the all-time greats, and he's looking better than I've seen him in a long time. This dude is hungry. This is the first time I've seen him coming into a season really, really ready to win. He's a crowd favorite. He's the underdog. He's got all this positive momentum towards him. If he beats Jett, it's going to feel like the whole stadium's on board. But if Jett beats him, you're not going to hear anything. And that's why it's so difficult for Jett. And then you got Chase Sexton. You think he likes being second fiddle to Jett? Not at all. This dude wants to win more than he wants to breathe. Cooper Webb, who always finds a way to win. One way or the other, he finds a way to win. I really hope his injury wasn't bad. I saw him, at first the way he carried his arm, I thought, oh no, it's got to be bad. But then I saw him, he did the press day at Anaheim for SMX. He didn't have a sling. He didn't seem to be holding it funny. So hopefully he's perfectly fine. And I really hope he comes in. Webb is just mentally tough. He's going to be there. He's never going to give you an inch. And that's what I like about Cooper Webb. So he's got those three guys. And then you have this world champion coming over who has so much talent in Jorge Prado. So stack all these guys against Jett. If he does anything other than win, it's a failure, and people are going to be all over him, and he's going to have to deal with boos at the stadium. I'm telling you, if Jett can get it done this season, that will be the biggest victory in his career. Well, so far, until he faces Deegan. But I'm telling you, this is going to be a difficult one. I'm interested to see how he handles all this pressure, because it is unheard of in this, we've never had this before. We've never had a guy like him in the social media era with this much pressure. Thank you to all the members. We will be drawing for the Coach Rob CRS custom painted helmet this month. We're up to like 100 and something members. Everyone who's a member, you're automatically entered. I will pick a random number and we will give that helmet to you. We will have it. We'll find out what your size is. We're going to have it custom painted and we'll have it out to you. It'll take a few months after we tell you won to actually get the helmet. It's going to be badass. One of our viewers, a mob member, Steve Cobell, he lives in Arizona. Their house burned down last Sunday night. Luckily, everybody got out safe, but they're devastated. They lost everything, and it's really sad to see. They're struggling right now. Insurance is messing with them, of course, because insurance sucks. They're not covering their motorcycles and UTVs, claiming they're under the auto policy. But either way, there's a GoFundMe. I'm going to put the link in the description. If you want to help out the Coble family, send some prayers, help them out. It's going to be a tough holiday season for them. But hey, at least they're all okay, and that is just a blessing. I know they're still struggling. They've lost everything, but hopefully there'll be better times ahead. So send some prayers their way. And like I said, if you want to donate, go ahead and use the link in the description. And if you missed the Moto Jones stuff, I strongly recommend you watch that video. It's hilarious. It's just a parody, and I don't know. I like to have fun sometimes. This sport, it's not